Ba, 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 ba. For now.
For now.
Chia, are you stuck over at the computer until...
Checking.
All right.
No, well, and also then she has to navigate a
Yeah,
very
be
upsetting
real
cable.
Careful how you get out
Very
of that
upsetting
whole
cable
situation.
is about to be okay. All right, we're watching
she's
good
going-
form.
she's going under it.
Good form.
All
That was a
right.
little quick out of the release. Was the word it could have caught on the hair.
Hello.
All right, the judges liked it.
Rob is a bit quiet. Rob's gonna get that mouth on the mic, get that mouth feel. But we'll see. We're
Get in there. Really?
All
There
right,
you
here
go.
we go. Yeah.
There you go.
We're here. We are as promised. Little touch and go for about 45 minutes there, as is our want. But we are live from your house. We're here.
Welcome.
We're here.
It's finally happened.
We're in the fucking
Team Remap is at the compound.
at the compound. How's it sound, everyone? Is it okay? Rob's always low though. Rob's
You want to give me right now? This is a very comfortable place for me to sit. If I have to get more on the mic, it's less comfortable.
It's okay. It's
Well,
okay. Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
Is this
I can up your level from here.
the conversation? I mean, is a conversation pit in the eye of the beholder, or does it need to adhere to strict
think it
regulatory
needs to be a pit.
standards?
It needs to be a pit, but this is like a virtual
Well, then
conversation.
is a
pit.
fire pit a conversation pit?
No way.
Yeah, I think it is. It's an
Okay.
outdoor
Yeah.
conversation pit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is like where most people encounter them now. So people are like, "Oh, I love a
Right.
fire pit." Well, then you love a conversation pit.
Then you would would enjoy.
Just observing points out as part of the conversation pit the step down, because I feel like that is part of the architecture.
Did I
of the
just
conversation pit.
Mike Wazowski myself? I think I did.
What'd
What?
you do?
There. Okay, that's fine.
What does that mean?
You know, when in the fucking movie, he's always like covered
Shrek?
up by shit.
I
Mike
know,
was.
I know. I was. You just like, ooh, you
What?
sorry, Gia, you fell into my conversation pit.
Oh no!
You stepped right into it.
Not the conversation.
No, not the conversation pit.
Conversation pitfall.
I've watched Monsters Inc. like 900 times, so I'm
900 times.
Kids love Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. If there's a movie you're gonna watch 900 times, you know.
I mean, that came out. When did that come out?
A while ago.
Yeah,
Monsters Inc. 1 is probably...
that was like we watched that as children,
Yeah, I don't know what year, but if you said 2008, I'd believe you.
right? I think Patrick.
Big show.
I think the thing gave you like a weird audio processing. I don't want to give you a compressor that's that strong.
Okay,
Whoa, that's wild. It's
what's
really.
going on?
No, I accidentally set a preset. That was a mistake.
Okay.
You just sound a little weird
Are we
to
good
me.
now?
Yeah, I think you're fine.
All right.
I mean, I'm futzing with it. I'll keep futzing with it over here.
Sounds good.
Well, yeah, we're live. We're gonna do. We wanted to do something live from Rob's house. We're also gonna do this as a podcast. What? What is that? Oh, you're just telling me the idea. You're
Yeah,
telling me, okay.
we're live. That's good.
For the moment.
For the moment, but we're gonna record this as a podcast that goes out. So, do you want to do like an intro, Rob, or like is this the intro, or
I feel like since it's not a numbered podcast, we might already be in it.
we're already in it? I
Yeah.
think so. Sure. Well, we're here. Rob, what have you seen on the show floor? Did you pick up your badge?
I feel terrible.
Did you pick up your badge?
No.
What are you
I was
doing?
on my way out the door.
Stop making music noises while
Are
we're
these
talking.
game show noises?
This is our fucking theme song. What the fuck?
I don't listen to that. You think I listen to the podcast?
Look. I feel like I don't recognize the theme song when you're going doop-a-doop-a-doo. I have a very hard time placing what that
I
is.
see. Okay, well now, because you have isolated tracks, now you need to take that,
Yeah.
layer that over the theme song,
Over the
so that
actual
you can
theme song.
actually see how close. Or if Tumelo is listening, please take this and then do your
Sample
own-
it.
Sample it.
Yeah.
Much
give
like
back
what
to
was the
us.
one? The donut? What's the one?
Cheese. It was about cheese.
The cheese.
I don't like
Gouda,
I don't
Gouda,
like
Gouda.
Yeah.
I don't like blue cheese. Give me feta. Give me goody. Give me Gouda. Give me cheddar. Give me feta. I think was the order I said.
Wow.
It in. Yeah, something like that.
That's almost too good that I feel like maybe you're remembering Too Mello's edit
maybe
of
you
it.
Rob.
Because I
Maybe
feel like you maybe weren't that musical, but you became musical in the edit.
I just have that music in me.
Patrick's audio sounds like it's coming from another mic.
Yeah. What?
Well, they are different. I think. Well, not in the sense that they are different mics. I wonder if they're.
I think the compressor's still too strong. I change it.
I see it.
No,
bouncing.
yeah, you're in there. You're in there.
I am using I'm using a handheld mic.
Yeah.
Both Rob and Chia are using fancier mics.
I'm gonna bring your level up a little bit too.
All right. Always be clothing. Is this a landlord stream?
No.
No, it's not.
I'm a housing provider.
Please. A housing provider. Language is important. Wait, I earlier this week I was I believe I saw messages to the effect of, well, I need Wednesday open because I'm gonna go pick up my badge.
Yeah. Well, instead, Chia came over. We had a very fun time.
Okay.
Yeah. I met Tilly.
Yeah, and got along with Tilly.
Tilly barked for a solid hour, I think.
Yeah, so Wednesday was very nice. It was delightful, but it did not involve returning to Boston to go get badge pickup.
No.
Because first, Kato arrived, and yes, Tilly was in her feelings about it. And then we had to walk around the neighborhood for like 45 minutes until Tilly, like, it was like a light switch flipping off. Like, Tilly was in hyper, like, reactive, very upset, just that there was a strange person. And then we just walked around, and it was like a switch flipped, and suddenly Tilly didn't care that this strange person was around. And then like 30 minutes after that, Tilly became like, this could be a source for affection. Like it was like Kato ceased to exist to Tilly and then re-entered existence, but now in a different category of like thing, where like suddenly Tilly was the
as
like
pet giver.
I will now stretch my
pet.
little snoot toward you and be like, I offer kisses in exchange for pets. So it was very cute. Like,
what seems like you had a little petting station set. You ended up playing a board game or a tabletop. Sorry, what did you play?
It's a board game. It's a board game. Yeah.
Board game. It's a board game.
Yeah, game of the year.
It's a board game.
Game of the year.
What's the
game of the year of 2023?
What's the difference?
A tabletop game can refer to any sort of thing you play on the tabletop.
Okay.
So tabletop gaming is kind of the broad category.
RPGs, miniatures,
minis, board games, card games, all of those are tabletop games.
Okay.
Now, in shorthand, most people, when they're referring to a tabletop game, they tend to be referring to a tabletop RPG, which is your Dungeons and Dragons and other things that are better than Dungeons and Dragons, but Dungeons and Dragons are the only ones that anyone
like
actually
Realis,
knows.
now on Kickstarter. No, not yet. Not yet. Soon, right? No, it's next week.
It hasn't launched yet, but I play tested that. It's fun. It's good. It's a fucking sick ass system. Everyone should go get it. I'm definitely not biased. But yes, that's a tabletop RPG.
But then what do we cross into board game?
So that is set aside from board game, basically because you played Dungeon
part?
World. Not specifically, because some board games don't even have boards, but it is the idea of
So Dungeon World is a board game?
No, Dungeon World is a tabletop
Okay,
RPG.
all right.
Yeah. So that it has to do about like where the mechanics are located. Basically, if they're located in like a sense of you acting out things that a character is doing, that is RPG.
Okay.
And then if the mechanics are located in like moving bits around a zone in front of you and like getting points or like other things like that, right? That becomes a board game, right?
Okay.
There's things obviously that blur the lines, like all genres, they're fucking fuzzy.
Sure.
But
you have strong feelings about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's things that are very obviously one or the other, but, so we played a board game. We played John Company 2nd Edition, a game that I adore. I didn't bring it today.
You brought the game?
Oh yeah, I brought it from New York. I drove up.
You brought it to play with Rob, or like to find a person to play it with?
No,
at
to
PAX?
play with Rob.
Okay, all right.
Because at PAX they have copies available.
Chia brought this game up 2 years ago and was like, "We need to play this," and indeed we did. And I've heard this from a few other people where like this was a really special game.
Yeah.
And it was unexpectedly delightful. And yeah, I don't know. There's a few things. It's the rare game that I think works a lot for people who are like more modern Euro game derived like board game players, but also it works for people who are maybe a little bit more like a little bit closer to like the tabletop war game tradition, which is where I come from, and it kind of works on both levels. Basically, John Company is it's a game about the East India Company's sort of takeover of India and the forces driving it from being a trading company to being a military, an imperialist military campaign in the shape of a company that also is still doing trading, but also then a politically influential force at home that is increasingly like taking over the politics of Britain. And one of the funnier just things about this is that the sort of the central thesis of the game is that these are basically you're basically like if middle class people who like, you know, how did it go? How did they turn out this way? Good schools, good life, well-to-do parents. How did they turn out? If those people turned out to be like pirates, basically,
Okay.
like if it was
All
like,
right.
what happened here? Because the game's basic theory is you're a bunch of chancers. Really, is what
Chancers?
yeah, it's like people who are ambitious but also heedless of risk, irresponsible, untrustworthy.
I've never heard the term
I
chancers before.
don't
Learn
know where's
something
that
new
from.
every day.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's more of a term that you hear more in the UK, and you heard more like probably 50, 100 years ago.
Okay, well, that adds up.
Sure. Yeah.
But
That makes sense.
But the point is, like, the way the game kind of works, and it makes it a lot of fun to play, is every turn goes through this, like, order of play, which is very normal. But the thing is, there is no my turn, your turn. We are all taking part in the business of the East India Company. And so it's like one person might be the chairman of the board, the next person is the director of trade, and you take different actions.
They're just roles, not necessarily.
Right.
Okay.
But the risk is shared, the profit is privatized. And that is kind of what is happening here, where the outcome of the game, the winning condition is, did you and your family, did your family come out of it with the most wealth that they can hold on to, no matter what happens with the company after this? And crucially, I think the East India Company literally like came to a sharp end with the Great Mutiny of I think 1857, where basically the company loses control of India all at once, and it's a bloodbath, and that marks the start of like the government being like, we can't just leave this bunch of people in charge. And so like the company's business model to date had been just for the sake of like private wealth, also enmesh British politics more and more in their mercantilist project. And in the end, you know, Britain, a colonial power, was only too happy to take over a lot of it. But the thing about the company was, it was basically like, what if the sort of people who own car dealerships were running a foreign policy, which I guess kind of we see now, you know, in our daily life. But it's like, what if the sort of people who inherit car dealerships were also like running a major, complicated, diplomatic, military, economic empire. So you're all trying ostensibly to like fill your roles and make things work out for the company. But at a crucial point, like people are trying to think about like, well, how can I get richer? So if it's like, if I'm the director of trade and also,
What were you though?
pardon, I
What were you?
was the chairman.
You were the chairman.
We're going to talk about this in a second.
Okay.
But just to give you an idea of the incentives and why this game gets so cool. So if I am the director of trade, and also my family is the sort of colonial governor of Bombay, then if we trade more through Bombay, my family skims money off the top. But Bombay might not be the most profitable trading center. What's the really good one? It's
Bengal.
Yeah. So if someone else, say Kato, is the colonial governor of Bengal, what's good for the company here, and what's good for everyone, is the company prioritizes training through Bengal. But I don't get the same cut of money than if we traded through the less profitable Bombay. So I might say, I'm just going to allocate more resources to Bombay, and that way my character gets to sort of monopolize trade there. And Kato, sorry, like Bengal has no funds for this year. Good luck. And that's kind of how we can sort of screw each other and try to maximize the profit flowing into their families' pockets. But also at that point, it's risking the company because
so that's what that's what's pushing the tension of maximizing your margins is then the whole thing can collapse under everybody.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And to a degree, at a certain point, you kind of want it to collapse. Like if the game ends and you've gotten your bag,
who cares?
That's
exactly. The bag.
Exactly.
So
what's funny though is that it rides this line where like you can't just amass the wealth; you also have to
spend it.
You have to spend it on one very specific thing, which is the only way you really get points, and that's buying a lavish estate to retire your family members into.
Okay.
So
it's also a real estate game.
Oh yeah.
So the money doesn't convert into points at the end. You have to use the money to amass the real estate, which converts into points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You also need your family members to get tired and retire. Which is
I'm always saying that.
you can't take the money if nobody runs.
Right.
Like that is part of it.
There's another lever that you can pull where if you have a ton of money but nobody's retiring, you can buy a factory. And just owning factories means that if the company falls
like a
under
data center.
Sure, yeah. If you own a factory, you just get points if the company fails. So if people start buying workshops, you're like, they're expecting.
Oh, so they're like red flags for people trying to trigger the end game.
Yeah, but just like, we're gonna.
You know how sometimes you can see like big bets happen on Polymarket that if they came in, that's not good for America or the world, and yet someone's making that bet with real good information about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the workshop is doing. The workshop is like, so I don't think things are looking too good for the old East India Company.
Do each individual have access to private information that would tell you about the health of the company, or is that a shared information resource?
Well, the private information they have is their intent. Okay. Like, so the part of it is once it passes to the part of the turn where their role gets to decide what to do, they can go rogue and just not do stuff. Like for instance, okay, we've got a major military threat shaping up in Bengal. I'm allocating a bunch of funds to you so that you can like send out troops to deal with it. It's like, cool, yeah, definitely gonna do that. All right, Governor of Bengal, what are you doing? Nothing. Pass. And that is your signal that like, oh, this person now is in the I'm trying to end the game as quickly as possible and exit. So that is the information they have, which is what their intent is, what their game plan is.
Or sometimes you take you have these little cards called promissory notes, which is basically like a mechanized way of promising something to someone that they can't like go back on. Otherwise, you can promise things like
it's
through
just part
verbal
of the
agreement
of the game of like, do me a favor.
Yeah, and it's like, and you can go back on those, but there's these little cards that say something like, "I will give you $2," and like those are like baked into they have to happen. You play the card and you take the $2 from them. One of them is collect my offers holder bonus, which is when you trade, if you're the president of a certain area, you get a bonus. So this is your family skimming off the top, depending on how many trades you do. So if a player has a place that we're regularly trading 3 and they're getting a little drip of 3 money every single turn.
Sure.
And you can trade that card away, saying that the next time that comes around, basically, instead of that person getting it, you get it. So like, I had that and was like, "Hey Rob, you want this for $1?" It was technically worth 3 if we traded and it all went through.
Right.
I didn't expect this to get around back to trading again. I was like, "Huh, you want this for $1?"
Well, here's the thing. I think so. It was an okay trade because like it was clear.
Yeah.
Kato doesn't make that deal unless they think that it's going to be more profitable for them, right? They don't think that the 4 gold is going to be collected.
Yeah.
But I think there's still a chance it might. And so for me, it's like
it could have, and then I like lose out.
the thing that derailed everything was not what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So that's the other part is so this game really does a great job of getting at a lot of times imperialism is imagined as a really rational process, right? That like in the halls of power or like in the center of government of a colonial power, someone makes the decision, let's go conquer this foreign land and subjugate these people and take their resources. And there's a design to it. There's a plan. The history is often much more haphazard, right? And it's that there are people who find levers of power and opportunities that tend to pull events in that direction. But frequently it's not like there was ever a moment where someone says, let's go do this, right? Like classic example is the British. The British desperately wanted American colonists to stop colonizing like west of the Appalachian Mountains because it was causing massive issues with like native tribes, and they had treaties with Native Americans where it's like, yeah, we're going to stop doing that, but you couldn't stop all these colonists from being like, no, fuck it, the law doesn't bind me, I'm just going to go across this treaty line. So what this game does really, really well is it gets this notion of the East India Company shows up and you have a chance for a pretty sweet deal, right? Like you send out trade expeditions, you make trade deals, you make a lot of money, you bring that money home, you skim some off the top, cool, all done. But also while you're out there, for instance, you can launch a military expedition.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And just
As
like
a treat.
As a
straight
treat.
up loot things. Is there any real reason that someone wants to, like, sometimes maybe there is. Like, sometimes there is India itself at this point is also, like, there's a lot of unrest. There's an empire that's in the process of falling. There's competing powers rising. So you have a lot of, like, you have a lot of military powers operating in the area anyway. And some of them are going to be a threat to company operations. So sometimes you're sitting there, it's like, yeah, we probably want to like buttress ourselves against this like growing pandemic stack of danger that could cause a hell to break loose. But sometimes it is literally just, well, if I lead a military expedition here and I ransack this province, it's a lot of money just straight into my pocket. Like
Yeah.
way more than you get skimming trade. Like skimming trade, that's nice, right? Like that is a that's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Looting is a bank robbery. And so you do stuff like that, but now you've got like more troops in the area. There's more things you're poking at. You're using these military resources up and taking them from somewhere else. And so what you end up doing is you've slowly like expanded what the company is doing and can do in the space. You have more trade opportunities. You have more opportunity for like direct control, but also you've massively expanded the surface area for threats to affect you, right? That's the way I put it, is like when you come in, you have a very small surface area. There's dangers out there, but you can sort of meet them all very easily because they don't happen over that wide a front.
Kind of like owning a condo versus a compound.
with 3 roofs. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in the
Yeah.
later stage of the game, it's like, well, I know why we're in all these places. And now everything that happens in these places is my fucking problem. Because that is...
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore, Chia.
India.
Yeah.
We're talking
so
about India.
there's this amazing, like you roll a dice at the end of the turn. You roll a die. And it's kind of your, like... It's the what fucked up shit is about to happen now die.
Yeah.
And there's a fucked up shit deck that is sitting there.
It's very pretty.
It's like a stack of
yeah.
Decorative drink coasters.
They do look like coasters.
And you flip them to see what happens in India this turn. But like the problem
it's the
is
events in India deck.
What's the die doing though? What event?
The die is
telling you how many of these cards you pull.
Oh, hell yeah! All right. Okay.
What's really funny about the die is that it also controls the random chance of storms happening because you have little company ships out and about.
Sure.
And if a storm happens, the ship can get lost.
A little damage, lost.
Exactly. And so all of the sides have like these little storm clouds on them. So there's like a lot of like little icons on the die, except for one side that has just a number. That number is 4. Because that means you draw 4 events in India. No storms happen. Hooray, the ships are safe. But shit's about to fucking pop off in India.
So what got us? And to be clear, Kato won this game by being the only person with a positive point.
Yeah.
Like Kato scored like 2.
What is the average?
Better
score?
than that.
You know, it really depends on how bitey the game is, but the score track only goes up to 20.
Yeah, but 2's not very much.
No, but sometimes you can win with 2.
Wow.
Kato was already moving toward the exit. Kato was like, because the thing is, MK had gone into full looter mode. MK had launched multiple military expeditions that reaped a huge... Because also, her family members were all over the provinces where these expeditions happened. This is another thing. It's like, there's like this incentive, but also risk of nepotism, where if you can control a space and you pile more family members into that, you have more opportunities to skim the profits off that space. If things go bad, you could lose an entire branch of the family tree in one go.
Uh-oh.
So MK was sitting on a massive amount of cash from all the looting.
Yeah.
But that's just cash. Cash 8 points.
It hadn't
points.
turned it, like MK had not managed to retire anyone yet. They were in it for the love of the game. Nobody was like, I'm tired. I want to go retire to my estate.
Cannot help but respect.
They were like, this is the best. What's better than this?
I mean, you're living life.
Yeah. So MK was really well set up to, like, if she retired a couple characters, like, she's gonna win the game because she could buy the fanciest estate, real good shape. I tried something, all right?
Yeah. Rob said, what if I just funded this company myself by buying shares every single turn, and don't worry about whether or not shares help in
So I had a super majority of board seats.
The board of directors was all Rob's family.
And so I had a lot of control over the company. And when we decided to do... When I decided...
Who's we?
When I decided to...
Yeah, I was going to say, when Rob
So this
decided...
Here was the vision. We were going to get to a point where I had a bunch of board members, and then I just needed one good turn. Maybe 2, but really just one would have done it. And I would have been like, it's dividends time. And I would have paid a ton of dividends to shareholders, which were all members of my family.
All right.
And then a whole bunch of money from the company would have flowed into my hands. The opportunity cost of pursuing this was I didn't have a lot of presence in those sort of frontline positions where people were doing the looting, doing the trading, etc. So I actually put myself in the position of I need the company to do pretty well. Chia and MK had not. Like Chia and MK were like, I need the trading and the looting to do well.
Yeah.
And that's really more profitable for them than it is for the company. Well, the trading is not.
And part of the thing here too is that because you had bought so many shares, and the way that the shares work is that they only become like actual shares.
They have to essentially vest.
They essentially more or less have to vest. But Rob was first in line, so even if I wanted to go and be like, yeah, sure, I'll get in on a few extra shares, Rob kind of like filling the queue with all of his stuff was like, well, I don't know how many of those are even gonna vest, so why would I get in the line when I don't think the line's gonna be there? Like,
I'm gonna go find another line with my fast pass.
Yeah.
So, but I thought with the positions I held in the company as chairman, as director of shipping, trading, logistics, I don't know what it was.
You were the shipping master, the master of shipping, I believe.
I thought I had enough levers where over time I could get the company into a good place. And to be fair, nobody screwed me on this. No. That is not what happened.
No.
Just decisions were made.
We had a
choices.
So the thing is, every card has this little like resolution table. When you roll,
every great Rob story starts with "the thing is." If you were to go back in time and search through a long pause, and the thing is, very few good things happen after that.
So the way things resolve in this,
Rob was the master and commander,
is that everything uses the same resolution system, which is you roll a bunch of D6s, and if you get one success in that bunch, then you're good to go. The mission succeeds. You stack the odds in your favor by basically spending money to increase the amount of D6s you're rolling to this to make sure you get one of the success rolls. But you can feel like a 91% chance of success on a roll is a lot, and it is. But another way of looking at it is that every roll has a 1 in 10 chance of failing. And if you think about it that way, right? Like, it's like 91%, I love it. And it's like, how many things would you say if it's like, well, there's a 10% chance you'll die? You probably wouldn't, like, that's a pretty huge disincentive.
Equal stakes. Equal stakes.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
basically, there's a lot of XCOM moments in this game where it's like, come on, it's like 91%.
How bad could it be?
Miss?
Yeah.
So, we had this monster turn set up where...
Because this all falls apart in basically one turn, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and like a 3/4 of a turn all basically.
So,
how many hours are we into the game at this point?
It was a fast game.
Okay, but what does that mean?
3 hours.
Yeah.
We're at about 3 hours. 2 hours, 2 hours 40.
Yeah.
You played it before, Chia?
Yeah.
How long did the previous game take?
Well, I mean,
4 hours.
Okay.
But I was playing with 4 people.
Okay.
So like you kind of add an hour per person.
Okay.
With this type of game, it can expand. We're also playing the short version.
I really want to play the long version. The long version is like they added more financial crimes.
Yeah. It also is our setup was you would do 5 rounds maximum. The long version is I believe 8 round. No, it might be 10 round. No, maybe it is 8 rounds. But we only made it to round 3.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Oh, so you cap it, but it can end. Obviously,
it can end fast because so just quick thing,
sure,
dynamic. Basically, things that can destroy the company. Fundamentally, it's a loss of confidence in the company. This is the death of many a public traded company. Is if it develops a bad enough rep, both politically and economically, people will turn against it. Investors won't want to support it anymore, so it can't like raise new funds, or the government might just look at it and it's like, we gotta shut these assholes down. Like they gotta go. And ways that you can lose confidence and reputation in the company is 1, you fail to pay dividends. You fail to live up to your obligations to shareholders. Which it was real nip and tuck. We had failed to do so.
Oh no.
Because our company was spending so much money on operations and expanding operations that it wasn't bringing in a lot of money to give to shareholders.
And you were pretty conservative with debt early on, which usually like people are and chairmen that I see are like, nah, we're taking 3, and also let's negotiate about taking more because you have to ask the rest of the shareholders board if you can take on more debt. But
Yeah.
The thing about that is,
Anyway, so we had this turn set up where like we had over previous turns opened up some really profitable trade routes.
yeah,
Like we now had the capacity to raise a ton of money through trade over the course of a single turn, enough that like my dividend play was going to come in. I was also getting a little bit of loot envy.
sure.
Where I was looking over at MK's like stack of coins. The game has beautiful little like, or at least Kato's edition of the game has beautiful little metallic coins.
they're very nice to hold.
They clink,
Especially when you're
they
like
clink
looting
and
and getting
jingle.
them. Right?
Exactly.
So I'm like, I need to get in on this looting game. Like I need to diversify my interests. I can't just be a chairman. I have to be a looter. I have to be leading like punitive expeditions, in India and like taking money. So I finally got a chance to like, there was a valid target in a territory I controlled. We had troops to spare to deploy against it, and it was my turn. Like why should I not get a chance to launch an expedition? And that went really well. The expedition succeeded. But when it came
It
to
was
time,
like my best
I made
loaf
some
in
decent
years.
roll for our most profitable trade expedition. And this was Kato's roll.
Yeah.
And Kato did not tank this.
A little.
You were. It was a 91% chance though.
I had 6 die, but there was 8 money. I could have spent 8. I could have just been like, we're gonna be safe.
I also wouldn't have thought we needed to spend 8.
No, I mean I spent 6.
You were kind of willing to like see what happened.
Yeah, I was like, I spent 6.
And we got no successes on that. And I think the total value of that was almost half of our annual budget, basically.
Yeah, it was.
Like, what button did you press on the soundboard? You just send some sort of sound to the chat.
Oh, these are on. Hold on.
What did you do?
So
Is Rob's loafs in here?
It was like my best loaf in years.
Yes.
Wait, what did you just?
This
hang
is
on,
the
I can't hear it.
soundboard. You want to hear it?
Every time.
Here.
It was like my best loaf in years.
Okay.
Well, 'cause every time you move, I get worried that you're gonna bump that USB cable and the whole
Yeah.
thing's gonna fall apart.
Sure.
But instead, the chat was like, "Was that real?"
You know,
And I thought maybe
I made some
someone
decent
walked,
loaves.
like in the window shot.
Please let me justify another one of my hornies still in there.
You got me.
That's Ocean. It's laughter. Oh God. Oh no.
Suck capitalism good, homie.
Suck capitalism good homies in there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So, Kato whiffs this roll. And immediately as chairman, I'm like, uh-oh. That's our operating budget.
Yeah,
like, that is
that's
like
our
half
money.
our... That is our...
Let me defend another
that
one of
is
my
just
hornies.
Oh, I found the hornies.
Nice. So, that is immediately like, uh-oh. It is going to be hard for us to pay our bills at the end of this turn.
Of course.
I thought that was going to be a problem. Well, it was, because we did have to go pay off our budget, and we were short. So we couldn't pay dividends.
We had to take
lost
emergency
company
loans.
reputation, brought in emergency loans to pay off the shortfall. And our company reputation took a hit. But okay, like we'll get them next turn. It'll be fine. Like it's still fundamentally it's on. Like we can sort of put this back together next year.
Next year.
Then it's time for the events in India.
I got it. Memoria.
Wait, what is the frame of time that is passing in like game years? Like, what is the scale of time over the course of a game?
It's like
Because you said I can do it next year. Is it like a 5-10 year game?
yeah. So like each round is a year,
Okay,
right?
Gotcha.
So like each round is meant to be like
I
one
see.
year,
like a season, sort of.
yeah. So next
Okay.
year we start the whole process over again.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there is no next year. So you might remember, I was like, I want to get in on military adventures.
I would like to loot.
And things were pretty sleepy in my territory. And crucially, the campaign succeeded. It was beautiful. We conquered a new part of India.
But now you're bored.
It brought It brought it under full control. Like now we had our own governor in place. It was going to be fucking awesome. I don't know if we'd appointed the governor yet, but either way, it was now in our hands.
Mm-hmm.
Regime change is bad unless it's mine.
We flipped the events in India. It's that province we just conquered. If we had not conquered it, fourth threat would have been added to that space.
Oh.
Problem brewing on the border. No. It was just like one threat would have been added to the space. Like unrest, like in that adjoining territory. If it was conquered, it was an immediate explosion of like fourth threat.
literally became.
So that basically it's like if we hadn't conquered it, it would have been like
turn.
There's bad diplomacy happening.
Yeah.
But because it was conquered, it's like a full uprising.
It's a rebellion, yeah.
And because we had exhausted all our troops conquering it, we had no security force.
There was no defense
to meet this threat. Like there was no
army
no
was
army.
tired.
Oh man, these poor imperialists.
And
Pour one out.
Yeah.
We lost this newly conquered territory immediately. Lost the armies. Lost the family members. The family members I think survived their their die rolls. I think they survived and came home in shame.
Well, no, your commander was shamed.
Yeah.
Shamed or chained?
Shamed.
What does that mean? Is like -2 shame to your character sheet?
Basically, he had to come home and also lost all the trophies, which was only one. But you lose half your trophies rounded up. So if you only have one, that's it.
What's a trophy?
It basically can amount to end game points. That's one other way that you can get points.
What do they mean by trophy? Is that just a way of expressing?
You know how when people would go,
you know the British Museum?
Yeah, the British Museum.
Okay,
a trophy.
Well, it's like
an artifact.
Look at this like beautiful treasure that I brought home to elevate our own culture.
Yes,
of course.
Except I lost that. So I didn't bring it home. Instead, I just brought home a bad explanation for why I lost this province immediately. But it didn't matter because remember, we'd already shown we're bad at capitalism. Like the company's not giving money back to anyone. It's just like taking investor money and like throwing it away.
And by investor, we mean Rob's family.
Yeah. This use of the word "we" is important.
So funny.
And then, now that we lost the territory, we triggered like the collapse of the company. Like losing that territory had basically like brought on the moment where the government was going to be like, "Yeah, no, like we got to give you guys the hook. India company can't operate it anymore.
You're done."
So that was the end of the game.
So if you just stayed in your lane and not gotten jealous over the coins that were on the
would have survived.
Yeah, the shiny.
Would have survived.
The physical coins in the real world that you got jealous of.
That's why it's really important to have the clinky metal upgrades because it brings out the greed.
MK had like 3 of the gold coins.
Yeah.
Like I had handled the gold coins like twice in this game. MK was sitting on like a stack of them.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And it was like, well, I don't have gold coins. So yeah, I was jealous.
But I want gold coin.
There was a little bit of like Smeagol plays a board game. And so the game ended, and then it was like Kato was the only person who retired anyone. Like nobody else had retired anyone, so they already had an advantage.
How do you retire someone?
So at the beginning of the year, you roll a die for everyone that you have that is in an office. So having people in offices is better than
like political office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Base more or less. It's like you're the president of the Department of Bengal, which is just like this base, almost like a governor, but governors also exist. They're their own thing. But basically, you have this little set of cards in front of you that each has like a painting of a person from that time period that looks like the sort of asshole that would have been in this company.
And then Adam Driver, for some reason, which we all commented on, there is like a clear Adam Driver picture in there. He's just there.
You roll a little d6, and then if it's a 5 or a 6, they retire. If it's a 3 or a 4, you give them a little I'm tired cube. And that next year, when you roll, you add a +1. So you're more likely, as time goes on, you're more likely to retire, right? 1 and a 2, nothing happens. They love their job. They're staying in. Because these individual people are all meant to be like their own actors, right? Like you're kind of like the whole family at once. So you can't really control and say like, I want you to retire. It's like that person got tired enough that they want to leave the job, right? So like you don't have direct control over that really.
You can just nudge.
You can nudge and hope and dream. And
it's only happening once per cycle, and if there's only 5 turns, that's not that many turns to start. Okay. All right.
So well, I was out of it. I had like lost my trophy. I had never retired anybody. I now had a bunch of stock in a company that was worthless. Why? What was the MK had racked up some points via being
the prime minister?
Parliament.
Yeah.
But then what caused those points to turn bad?
Oh, so one of the fun things about the game is that when the company when the company fails, you get to draw a card from the company failure deck, and it tells you who gets blamed for this.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the person that, for some reason, it was the card we drew, right? Yeah, it was Prime Minister deposed. Wow. And so all of the points that she had gathered...
Would she have won if that had pointed elsewhere?
No. She was still behind me, but she would have been a closer second than... The points ended up at Rob at -3, MK at negative. It goes into the negatives because it knows this is gonna happen. Rob at -3, MK at -2, at me at +8.
Was it 8? I thought it was 3.
It was 8.
Oh, you did win more than I thought you did.
I just bought
said 2 or 3 earlier. Maybe I.
No, I just thought I saw the 8 and I thought it was the 3.
It's the third. It's a third retirement down. It goes no points, 2 points, 4 points, 8 points. And I just had a ton of money right when my retirement came up, so I was like, "Fuck it, I don't know how many times." Because the other thing is, when you retire someone and they go into that big lavish estate, every time it goes back around to the end of the year, you have to pay upkeep.
Sure.
So the more expensive the house, the more expensive your upkeep is gonna be. So you kind of have to math out, like, will I have that much money by the end of the year again? And I was like, I don't know how many times we're going around again. So yeah, fuck it. I'm spending most of the money just buying the estate because I don't think I'm going to have to pay upkeep that many times. Turns out, I think that was literally the turn. I think it happened the turn. It was either I paid once. I think I paid one time for my upkeep and then was like.
Did you have to use the coins?
I did, but that's what they're for.
That's what they're for. Some people have them, some people don't.
The haves and the have-nots.
The have-nots, truly, even amongst the elite.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a humbling lesson in many ways because it showed that.
What did you learn?
I think we learned that
we.
I think we learned that the job of a CEO is harder than it looks.
It's true.
That it's not as easy to bring value to shareholders as we think. And the money a chairman or a CEO gets, that's well earned.
Wow. Insightful.
Yeah.
Insightful.
Oh my god.
Well, that sounds delightful. She was that the second time you played the game, or
no? I've played it many times.
Okay.
I really enjoy it.
But Rob, you'd never played it before.
No,
Rob's never played.
But now I'm like over the moon about it. Like I can't. Like I was going to bed thinking about like my next game. I was like, yeah, all right. I do want to try my chairman strategy again. I just like I know better about how to run the company. But I do think
frantically searching Reddit for like John's company CEO strategies.
But you gotta. I invested too much in like the chairmanship. That is the. But
yeah,
if I throttle back the investment, then the payoff of that strategy is less good. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad strategy. It was a one-dimensional path. It was, and I really needed like other avenues.
You gotta diversify. You gotta have a fair foot in the company, but you gotta realize that when all you controlled was like the yearly budget, more or less. if I wanted to tank the company, I just don't take those trade roles, and then we are not making any money.
Yeah.
So you needed to get someone in office.
Yeah. And I, unfortunately, everyone that I had available for office, hanging out on the board. And like, where's the money?
Where's the money?
Well, that sounds like that was a lot of fun. And then
Yeah.
you told Chia to drive through the dark forest for 40 minutes to get back to their hotel.
Yeah, 53 minutes.
Wait, sorry. What
Yeah.
happened?
Driving around here at night.
Yeah,
It's
driving
the
around
dark.
here at night is
Illumination.
fucking spooky.
Oh, that's right. I forget that. Yeah.
As we were coming up, like, she commented on, like, it's dark here. I was, like, looking around, like, not a lot of street lights. Yeah, this
No,
would be
they were,
a
like,
solid
very
20
little.
minutes of relying on your headlights of the car and going
Yeah.
slightly under the speed limit to make it out.
Is this why you were like parked at the foot of the driveway for like 5 minutes? Like, were you just like, it's too dark? I don't know if I'm.
Oh, I think I was just making sure that my
right.
navigation was up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does get pretty dark.
Yeah.
And like but like my street is super dark, and then the street leading after my street is super dark. But once you're through, yeah,
This is like Ross
Eventually-
said, it's like 20-minute drive to my place. It's actually like closer to 50. You know, depending on traffic, it could be an hour. It's real close.
Yeah. We got here in 40 something too.
We did, yeah. It's about
It
40
wasn't-
minutes.
it wasn't
with a
too
straight
bad.
Shot and then
I don't know why it was 53 on the way back. I think possibly.
there might have been mild
weird
traffic getting
route.
into the city. Like when I was looking about for our route back, I've been monitoring it to make sure that we get back for we have the, you know, if you're listening now and you're the Boston area, we'll be at in theory, the Weston lobby bar at 5 p.m.
my presence not assured.
Do you want to explain to people what's going wrong with you? Well, I guess you can't really explain it. You're not sure
You
either.
just tell them what's happening.
So basically, like yesterday,
Let me defend another one of my hornies.
did a little work in the morning, and then like get up from my computer in the afternoon, and I'm like, whoa, I'm dizzy as hell, and it hasn't gone away. I have no other symptoms. I am just like horribly lightheaded, and if I don't move my head, I feel fine. But if I move my head after like sitting for a while or being still, it feels like when you realize it's like honestly, it's like when you've been drinking, but you haven't really clocked how much you've been drinking, and then you go to like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and you stand up. You're like, oh no.
Order me
How
a
many
water.
how
Order
many
me
of
a
these
water.
drinks? Yeah, hang on. How many of these drinks did I have? Oh shit.
Did I look at the ABV on those? I didn't.
Yeah,
I just liked the cool name.
that is how it feels every time like I've been sitting still for a while. I move my head, and it's like, oh no, I'm so drunk. That's kind of how it feels. Not great, but that does make me think it's like an inner ear thing. Like allergies have been really bad, like out here,
Sure.
with the spring. So like I'm hoping it's just that. But like right now, the thought of going out sounds hellish. Like I don't know if you caught this, Chia, but there's a point right here where I like fell over putting something in the closet just because my balance was so off.
She is thinking back
What?
through.
I did not catch this. When?
Yeah, no, I was like going to put something on a shelf in the
Yeah.
closet, and I just stood up, I bent down, picked it up, put it on the shelf, and like just nearly like went over like a tree as like my equilibrium completely failed.
Oh no.
Well, you know, at this age, you give it 2 to 3 days to just randomly clear up. Don't think about that again, and then you start getting concerned that I need to go get it looked at. So we'll see. Hopefully, Rob's able to make it, but at this stage, at the very least, Chi and I will be at the Weston Bar to hang out with folks. Which, hey, Chi, I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can be okay. Point totals, right? We're just talking about end of game points, winning. How many Charlie Kirk shirts have you seen at PAX East?
What the fuck? Zero? Have you seen any?
One.
What?
One.
Oh
And
no.
I've seen 2 in the past week. Now the first
What the
one
fuck?
is adds up.
Wait, sorry, did you see one at PAX?
Yeah, on the show floor, guy walking around like with a, and they're both of the same variety. So
Ironically?
really doubt it.
Okay. Because like I could see
guess
like
I
a like boom, and then a picture of Charlie Kirk. Like that's ironic.
No,
You know what I mean?
these
Okay.
are both of the two different. So one makes sense. I was in Wisconsin Dells last weekend, and that is the locals there, like very rural area of Wisconsin. Like I'm pretty sure politically that all lines up. And so I saw, it's like I forget what the. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right is the quote. And at first I was like, oh, a Ben Shapiro shit. Right? Like, because that seems like sort of his shtick. And instead it said like, Charlie Kirk year to year for like when he lived and died. And I was like, all right, well, I'm in the middle of Wisconsin. Like that makes sense. And then I saw another one that was similar, like, American flag, Charlie Kirk. And then I didn't clock the quote, but it had the same, like, lived and died years on the front. Did not look ironic. But I was like, that is in some ways a brave shirt to wear to a fucking show like this. Like, so I was like, Godspeed, man. But, well, I guess I beat you on that one, Chia.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, it was gross. It was gross. Go ahead.
I feel like you got to be so far down the rabbit hole to still be like rocking shit like that. Like I really want to go buy the used audio store that I frequent. There has been some of the bunch of Trump Vance shit still out on the front of their house, their yard.
We saw a flag on our way up here. I'm like, it looked like one of the not beloved badge. What do they call it? Like the
Thin blue line,
something like that. But it would look. But it had red on it, which we were wondering if that was a firefighter.
Yeah, it was red and blue.
Back the blue. Like that's what you ended up seeing on a bunch of those. But
like to still be rocking that stuff, like especially like right now, where
right.
you can't read the room, where you're like, yeah, I did put these guys in charge, and it's like. Who would want to like you? That's what you just have to be completely.
Well, PAX specifically, like it's weird because like the bathrooms at the Boston Convention Center are like labeled gender wise, but they have a sign out front that's like, don't worry about what it says. Like do like what you want to do. Like we welcome that here, and it's like the kind of convention that is putting out signs about that, and then you're like walking around with a fucking Charlie Kirk shirt that again did not seem ironic but it seemed wild to make that personal choice to walk the show floor that way.
Surprised. I wonder whether or not anyone said anything because that's kind of.
It feels like at some point someone would say something from a distance, right? But I don't know.
Well, but also there's a lot of people for whom the response to that is. Who's Charlie Kirk?
There's no way.
I don't know. Charlie Kirk is like both more popular than you think in this certain circles, but to like he was a podcaster that maybe you heard his name once to like an average person.
I think a lot of people who are like watching football or like were at the football games like what? Yeah, like
you have to be a little online to have clocked it if you're not already in right wing circles. The other jump scare I had was I knew this would happen at some point, and then I wasn't really sure what to do in the moment. So I don't know. I did record the interview. I cut it short, and I don't know that I'll put it in whatever podcast we put together for my interviews. But I checked out a game. I'll describe what it is. I think it'll explain why I at least wanted to chat with them. It's made by a bunch of people who are obsessed with MMOs, got too old or too busy to play MMOs. And it's like, what if you take sort of automated systems, build an MMO around that, in which like you can set up the scripting yourself. The player.
Wait.
So you spawn a character, and it says like you can say it, go on this quest, but the character walks there themselves. You set like the parameters how the spells work, right? Like only attack this, and then like at third.
It's like you're playing coach mode.
Yeah, it's
an MMO. That's kind of funny.
It's an MMO, yeah, funny. Coach mode, sure. MMO idle thing, and I was like, oh, that sounds like Kenny. It's a good pitch. Like I could talk to them for 10 minutes, and then one of their things that they said was, "Are those the coins?"
No, but it looks like it could have been, right? Which one is this for?
I don't know.
Oh, for a different game?
Ardennes?
No, no, our den does not have like a fucking pirate doubloon.
No, this has some fucking Holy Roman Emperor on it.
Did you just find that in the couch?
Yeah.
I find fake coins from fictional worlds in the cushions of my couch.
So I asked one of the devs, anything else interesting about the game that you want to point out? And they're like, oh, well, actually, part of it is that we want you to be able to control it remotely, so that you don't actually have to have the client open. Like you can be on a Discord server or in WhatsApp, and you can communicate with your character and task them. I was like, well, how do you accomplish that? They're like, oh, through AI. And that's also why, like, the personalities of our characters, like, you'll be able to kind of mold them and shape them, like, as you chat with it over time. And I'm like, well, what technologies are you using to do that? It's like, oh, like a little open AI, like a little Gemini. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, sorry. Hang on. I need to reverse a little bit.
Sure.
We saw personalities of characters. Is that like to populate the world? Like characters is like you?
No, like you can sort of like mold the, like, in the chat box, you can both give it just explicit instructions, like go farm for gold, like go find these items. And then it'll do that while you're away from the game. It runs on the server side. But you can also talk to it and like the character, and part of like the personality will be molded by how you interact with them, in addition to personalities that they develop on their side. And so they're using OpenAI and Gemini at the moment, but then they're worried about it like sort of breaking character. So they claim that they're like going to build their own local LLM model that would exist in the game. But it's all to say, it was the first time, and I knew this was going to happen at some point, where like I'm having a conversation, it's interesting, and then all of a sudden, like the AI sort of like grenade like rolls in, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I just was polite. I'm not gonna like podcast shame the person like in the middle of the interview, but it was my signal to, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna wrap this conversation up. And at the end, they're like, well, let me know like when it goes up. I was like, sure.
Yeah,
will.
definitely will.
Probably not gonna do that. Not gonna link you to a version of the conversation where I just say, I think I heard building the game sucks. But you know, especially given all the conversations with, I know you guys talked about the Crimson Desert sort of AI pictures and things like that, and I saw, was it Owlcat Games talking about with their upcoming Expanse game that like they do a lot of AI stuff in pre-production that they then replace with human stuff during full production. It's just one of those moments where like, oh, I'm gonna start encountering this more and more in the outside world. What do I do like as a journalist, like when that sort of collides with like, my own moral and ethical structure of like the things I want to cover and highlight and have conversations about. And I mean, I guess I appreciate they disclosed it in the conversation as opposed to not saying anything at all.
Like that's not nothing. Like I think people were, especially now, people like making the disclosure. They know what they're letting themselves in for.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, there's some storefronts that like ideally everyone's making you disclose what implementations of AI you used and how it was used. But the disclosure is helpful, at least,
yes.
To know that like that is part of the workflow and the content of the game. But yeah, it is. We don't know where this is all going to end up, right? Like again, we've always talked about there are lines between like various forms of procedural generation and like machine learning tools and pattern analysis that are being sort of swept into like the broader term AI.
Right.
And then there's just like straight up like generative AI plagiarism machines.
Yes.
And we also just don't know what you'll often hear, and God, like the people with what I think like Luke Plunkett would describe as like terminal LinkedIn brain, right? Who are like running toward the fire to put themselves on record as being like pro AI, right? Like get over it, it's here to stay. And I think some of these technologies are here to stay. I don't know what they are, and I don't know what they look like or what the implementation is going to look like long term. I don't know which of them we would find objectionable and which ones are like, well, that's just sort of an iteration of stuff that's been used forever. The speed tree analogy, right? So I think we're a ways off from seeing how this stuff shakes out. But
not to mention it happens in parallel with sort of the implosion, like a slow rolling, ongoing implosion in the games industry that is partially because of AI, but also is just happening in parallel. And so it's like the human cost of AI implementation is like hard to extract from the ongoing like layoffs and inability to find funding. It's like, is that because of AI? Probably not entirely. It's contributing to it, which then obviously makes you feel worse about endorsing it or accepting it or just sort of rolling over as it gets implemented.
But the thing I don't think is super in the cards is that anyone's going to be fired up for a thing we use to create a bunch of the creative content of the game is powered by chatbot, AI models, things like that.
I think that's why they like the painting stuff riles people up. Like, I think people very quickly, either because you won't have transparency into it or because the threshold of like how you react to it, the difference between some amount of like, I don't know, the physics engine was like made, with Claude or something like that versus I'm playing this game and then the paintings over here, they look, it's almost, it feels insulting, like to the player, like, oh, and then you just put that there after I've paid for your game, I'm exploring this world, and then you couldn't be bothered to put like something nice in the hallway as I explore it. There's something like more visceral about the image portion of it, which makes sense as humans you'd react that way. But
and I think but even there, like the example of what they're describing, initially I was kind of like, well, that's kind of a cool idea for a thing it's almost a type of strategy game, sort of the virtual Viceroy game, where it's like the whole point is that the strategy game you're playing has a ton of like granular detail that outstrips your ability to manage it. Like it is way too much for a person to all touch, like more than you're doing in a Paradox game, for instance. It's just like there's that much happening. And what games like that operate are effectively, you have activate like an automatic manager for a system. Like Civilization has already let you do this for years. Manage the city. I don't like manage it with an emphasis on producing culture out of the city, and the AI manager will do that. And these games that are more ambitious is like you give more and more detailed parameters and instructions to these managers to handle these aspects of the game that you are too busy to. So you are delegating now and you're creating your own minister. And what's interesting about those games is that you are basically tuning a robot to handle important things that you could manage. You just don't have the wherewithal to. But the robot's going to do what you tell it to do. And so, like, if you don't fully understand what the parameters you just set are,
right,
you can end up with some really wild shit happening where it's like, wait, what happened? Why did you buy this much of this? Things like that. Those games are interesting. They've never been my cup of tea because by their very nature, and honestly, this is germane to the issues with AI implementation. Unraveling where that fuck up happened in the parameters you set can be really tricky.
Sure.
Like I felt like I tuned that AI like minister to do the job really well.
But then he bought pineapples.
Yeah, like all the pineapples.
He knows we're allergic to pineapples. That was in the parameters.
And so like games like that can be really, really interesting. And the thought of someone taking that to you're making something in the form of an MMO for people who don't have time to play MMOs, and you like the idea of like, I just want to detach a part of my brain to go play this MMO and have it come back and like having done the MMO stuff like that is interesting to me. But it's the part where it's like, well, we can't really fully flesh out the MMO world or what your character is or inhabits or what's up to without bringing in the Gen AI stuff.
Right. The story, the world building, the characters. We do not have the team cannot scale to that.
Yeah, and it's
so we're going to outsource it.
But then it's like but I don't care about that then. Like there's that right. that is where this stuff falls apart it cheapens or eliminates the value of the world entirely.
Yeah.
And so it becomes less interesting to then send a little AI character out there to do it. Like, because ultimately when I was talking about those strategy games that operate that way, in a lot of ways, they are like ultimate spreadsheet games. Like if you stripped away all the UI stuff and everything, you're dealing with like massive spreadsheets, tabs, everything. And your AI manager there is to sort of figure out like if column A and D add up to greater than, like, it's all that. But the thing that's going to get you interested in and hold your interest in it is, well, is the theme of that world interesting, right?
It's
like
the context that the numbers exist in.
And if it's like, well, we just kind of outsource that to an LLM, it's like, well, no. Then the answer's no. So
We said build a space universe. Like, all right.
Right. And so that is sort of, I think, the fundamental like fault with that approach. And I do think, do you remember an Inscription where it turns out Leshy's like the narrative designer of the whole game? And then in the end, you go to the like programmer's vision of what the game is, which is like the pure, like, it's just like stripped down as little theme as possible. It's just like pure mechanical relationships and math. And, you know, I don't think there's any debate about like Leshy ends up being a sympathetic antagonist in that game, right?
Totally.
That like Leshy becomes sort of the hero of the project, because Inscription, the game we really remember, is kind of two things. It is the story of playing Inscription and unpacking all the stuff about the origins of this game. And there's the game that Leshy has you play, you know, that's rich in theme, art, style, and like flavor. And I think some of the impulse to leverage Gen AI is more representative of that side of a creative company that devalues the more subjective, expressionistic, creative trades of the work, where it's like, no, we have a really cool idea for a game here, and we just need someone to fill in the fiction in the world so that people can play the cool game. And it's like, the fiction in the world is why people are playing the cool game, right?
Or if your team can't pull, like, it feels like it's also patching holes that people feel like they need to fill. But if you can't fill them, then find another way around it. You know what I mean? Like in this game, you know, this like an automated scripted MMO games, like, well, okay, well then just don't do the fancy world building. Like, focus on making the idle part of it like really interesting and fascinating. And like, what if you can't do the world right, then focus on the parts that you can do right and make those excellent, and then maybe you can fill that gap in later. But it feels like it's a question of scope, and many times developers are going, well, players expect this, we have to do this, and we can't do it, so we'll fill the gap in with AI, when the real question should be, if we can't do it, then maybe we shouldn't do it. And if we have to do it, then alter the priorities of your development to accomplish it. And so it seems like that is, you know, increasingly kind of where we're ending up. You're seeing a lot of this on Steam, where it's like, oh, like the VO is like, it's a version of this, right? Like, hey, we're using OpenAI and Gemini, and then we're gonna do our own personalized one that doesn't use those exploitative plagiarizing machines. It's hey, we're not using Scratch VO. We're not having developers do the VO. We did AI. When the game is finished, don't worry, we're going to hire humans to go, you know, do the VO later. Like the, not the finals, the
Art Graders.
Art Graders did a similar sort of thing. Now that seems slightly in response to the shaming of the company that like they're going out, which is important. Shame is increasingly in our society not as useful as a tool as it used to be, but like it still can accomplish some things. But I feel increasingly you're going to see a lot of that, especially on like if the disclosures on Steam hold up, is hey, no. Like it's going, I promise it'll be replaced by a human later. And then at that point you're putting a faith in the developer to do that. But once they've got you in the door, do they need to do that? Even if the developer's writing that in good faith, the place that we've ended up where it's like, we'll just we'll put the human part in later to make you feel better is a bad place to be.
So I think this was what we talked about extensively last week on the show, because we were talking about like this like what is increasingly a standard operating procedure of you release your game,
Yep.
see how it does, and then people are like, hey, cool game. What's with all this AI shit? And then you be like, hold on, I'm getting that AI stuff out of there.
The antlers that happened to
Yeah.
Crimson Desert, like increasingly folks comb through your game, shout it out, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, we didn't catch that. And
But of
whether
course-
they didn't catch it or they didn't want to catch it, who's to say?
Well, and that's the thing. I think it is mostly like we need to get this thing out the door, and the AI like slop lets us. Like it is. Oh boy,
It's almost like a bug you could like. No game is bug free when it ships, right? But there are bugs you can live with and bugs you can address later. Increasingly, AI is becoming like a bug you can live with.
Well, AI is also the like when people are selling the house and they're just like painting over, like water damage in the walls and shit like that.
No, there's no mold there. Don't worry about it.
And so there's that bit of it allows you to make it look like you've hit a standard of presentable, shippable quality that maybe you haven't. And then if it turns out that you might have a viable product on your hands, then you're like, oh well, hang on, we're gonna get that AI stuff out. And if it turns out that your project hits the market and is just dead on arrival, then you're like, hey, and also it has AI slop, and you're like, we're shutting down. Goodbye. So I think there's a bit of what are the incentives there for this, but the problem with like you can go in and fix it later is one, immediately, especially if you've not disclosed this in advance of what you're up to. If you haven't disclosed it in advance of what you're up to, immediately like there's not a lot of credibility or like trust or respect that like come into play there. Because if you kind of try to slide this past people without them noticing it, how are we going to trust that you're going to be fixing this in a way that is both responsible and also like interesting, right? Like if you're saying we'll go in, we'll add the fucking in-world art later, God. Well, the in-world art is kind of how you establish what your world looks like. What do people in your world create? This is we're talking about like in the Duncan 5 piece, right? The whole like appeal of world building is not that it immediately plays into the immediate narrative of the story that you were telling, but you're answering a lot of questions about how do people live in the space, what exists in this world, how do people think, and things like in-world art are one way you explain that and explore that. And if you offload it to Gen AI and you can say like, well, the art team like signs off on it, but if it's a bunch of pack shots of like which here is the least sloppy thing that you're looking at, it's like, is that one? That still falls short of, well, you're using in-world art to do what it's supposed to do, which is inform you tell you something about the context in the world. If you're going back and fixing that stuff later, it's like, well, you kind of can't fix it because this stuff existing is a way of expressing the care and thought and attention to detail that went into the world you created. If you're like, all right, so we left a bunch of slop holding space for that, but we're gonna go in and fix it. It's like, cool, but then I don't think you answer the questions meaningfully about like what your world looks like, or like I just don't. I think you basically did the equivalent of trying to extrapolate the medieval world from tourist photos of Magic Kingdom. Like that is like fun. Like I mean, for me, that's fundamentally it. Like, okay, we're going to turn artists loose on it. Great. I no longer believe there's meaningful creative direction. You can say like we've got a bunch of artists ready to get that slop out of here. It's like, yeah, but the fish rots from the head. Now what is clear is the creative direction of the company didn't give a shit. Either because they didn't give a shit or they didn't think they needed to, or they don't understand the value of the stuff. Now you can put as many artists as you want on it. It's now in service of a thing that doesn't really care about what is being built.
Right. Do you play anything good at PAX? You're just like you're just working your way down aisle by aisle, right?
Yeah, more or less. When I could, because part of the issue about PAX video games is
Did this come out 2 years ago?
What?
Did this come out 2 years ago?
Maybe. The more like the like waiting for a demo to open up, or like being lucky and it opening up as you're like walking by of it all.
There aren't. It's very rare to find, like in a more traditional video game show that's like kiosk focused. Almost anything you'd find would have multiple entryways into you be able to play something. At PAX, if you're not Nintendo, chances are it's like one laptop or one computer that is showing something.
And there's possibly emails from some of these developers in my inbox that I never got around to answering that maybe I could have like booked an appointment at. That probably would have been good. I didn't open a single one. There's so much shit to do.
Rob didn't pick up his badge. Chia can't be bothered to open up the Nice Press emails.
Hold on.
Fuck.
I'm sick.
You weren't on Wednesday.
I have John Company fever.
Can you get a fever in the game? Is that a card you could turn over? Oh no, your colony has been hit with a plague.
Jeff Grubb wants my home address, so Giant Bomb can come over. Part of me's like, it'd be very fun if we let this shit set up and Giant Bomb just shows up later.
That's so funny.
I'm sure the dogs would love it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what I wrote down some of the games that I played.
Oh yeah. I have a list of a bunch of stuff that I played. One of the first things I got my hands onto was Necromancer of Nowhere. Necro, not Necro, but Necro, like a cat.
Case?
Like Necro case. NKO. Necco wafers. Gross. Yes, that is the Japanese word for cat. Necco. Yeah. It's a little puzzle game where you draw little spells on the screen to do different things. One of them is create a portal to like a kind of mirror world of the place you're in. So there's a lot of like, you have to flip over. The walls are all different. You can move to a space and then you flip back and then like you're in the zone that was blocked off before. Things like that. It's really cute. It's pretty early still. They're like, we don't know when it's coming. But there was like little enemies that you would have to like, poke them in before you can like do the spell. But it was very satisfying to go around, poke all of the enemies of the same type, because each enemy type has a specific spell you're doing to get rid of them. You run around, tap them all once, and then like do one, and they all like poof at once. It was, so like it becomes this puzzle of like, how do I get to all these different places while still avoiding their attacks? A lot of ranged stuff kind of flowing through the air and stuff, or like people trying to chase you, but then you can like portal away, and then it's very neat, very cute. It was a very short demo though, 10 minutes, and then I was like, oh, I don't know when this is coming out, but it's going on my list of like, let's see how this plays out.
Well, increasingly, it's like at PAX, people always have like a QR code somewhere that you can scan, add it to your wish list, and then be notified at a later date, like when something is going. I did that with like a bunch of games. Like rather than like taking screenshots or writing them down, I just did the QR code, added to my wish list. It's like, all right, these are the games that I checked out while I was walking around. The one I checked out was called Auris, Auris. I think it was a student game.
Auris.
It's a shocking. It's a platformer. And of course, I was like, ooh, this seems like a sad story, because the art like in front of it was a sobbing parent in front of their child who was like comatose in a hospital bed, and I'm like, well, I've got to see what's going on here. And you're like a child, you were in some grave accident and you're in a coma, and I think you're sort of like working out. Like the doctor comes in and says like, well, if you talk, sometimes he can hear you. And so I think something about it is like you working through, your conscious, subconscious in the platformer while you're hearing versions of like elements of what's happening out in the hospital around you. Practically speaking, like mechanically, it's like an echolocation platformer, so it's all shrouded in darkness, and the sounds that the character makes produce like light. And so as you walk through, your steps produce light in the world. If you jump, it produces more light. If you double jump and then come down, you produce more light. And then you also eventually get access to sort of like a rock that you can sort of throw that produces a light. And so a lot of the game is with the limited amount of light that you have access to, how do you move forward, grab keys, open up doors. It's got like fun art, neat novel mechanic. I haven't really seen something like that before. And so anytime I see a platformer that has even just a novel idea, I'll be into it. So that's Auris, Auris. They also did not know when this game was coming out. Yes.
I just have to call this out from chat.
Please.
Astar Games. Oh, great. More trauma slop. I don't think it's actually meant sincerely. I think it's just a very funny way to describe like these deeply personal like explorations. And you're just like, oh, it's a new entry of the trauma slop genre.
Yeah, I mean there is. Yeah, I mean I understand where it's coming from, which is like, oh, you wanted to make you had an idea for a platformer. You like, here's your hook. Like, here's what we're gonna do that's different. How do we imbue it with meaning? And it's like, oh, well, take the low hanging fruit of a parent upset over like harm to their child. I see where that's coming from. There's very little of the story that was in the demo, so I don't know if it's just a framing device. At that point, like maybe just embrace it, be the like premiseless platformer, and just like have the mechanic. I understand where
it's they were just joking, but I do think it's very funny because it's like an illustration of you never know when you're going to coin a term. And it just catches on as the way to describe.
As Astar Games points out, trauma slop games are catnip for Patrick. Yes, you tell me it's a sad story about like a parent grieving the loss of a child. I'm here, baby. Like let's cry on the couch together.
Best trauma slop before your eyes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
New category.
Oh my God, that's before your eyes is the king of trauma slop. I didn't play their new game. You're like a baby with superpowers. Nobody played that game. Came out last year.
Superpowers?
Yeah.
Did we do a demo for that?
I don't think
on
so.
the Next Fest? No.
No.
What was that baby? You know
Universe.
that baby thing we did a Next Fest for last year. Do you remember? Got like weird low poly art. There's a baby.
It's the most
There's a baby.
See, this is where you need to do an AI search.
No.
Hey, Kata,
that wouldn't fucking work.
Just keep feeding word association into the machine and see if you can get there.
I don't. Damn, chat's not helping either. What else did you play? Chia, anything else notable? I played that Valor Mortis game, that first-person Dark Souls game from the Ghost Runner devs. That seems neat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where were they?
They were near. So like PAX has a history. Like some of them are like the vertical, like sort of rather than like a rectangle booth with a table and chairs in front of it. These are like the vertical ones where it's like you have a low TV and a chair, and then the art like kind of goes up in a column.
Sure.
I think like the Polish game.
Oh
like,
yeah,
there was like a Polish area.
The Polish area.
I think it might have actually been there. I think that was the entire
that makes sense,
construction
sure.
of like the games they were showing off, or like the vertical art. And it was just there. Then someone was getting up. It was like a 30-minute demo, but I had 20 minutes before the show floor was closing. So I got to do my classic thing that makes Chia mad every time, which is just spamming past all the story stuff as fast as possible, so I could just get to the gaming bits.
Hurts.
And actually, this one hurt because of obviously the premise here is like so like it's set, like Napoleon, you die, wake up, you're in the Napoleonic army, and like he just starts speaking to you about like grave matters that need to be addressed, and like it seems really sick. I have an issue with the Ghost Runner, like this studio in general, in which their movement speed does not feel good to me. I tried both.
Wild.
I know.
Yeah, sorry, you were spamming past the story stuff.
Yeah.
In the Napoleonic monster game.
Yeah.
Knowing that you were going to come here.
I know.
Right.
And talk to me.
I know.
And I might have questions.
Like what?
That could only be answered by the story stuff.
What would you ask?
Or what does Napoleon want you to do?
You're not sure. He's just like, be cool.
Are we not? Are you truly not sure? Or did you just click past?
I probably clicked past it.
Yeah,
I probably
okay.
clicked past it. But I thought it would just be sort of like Napoleonic theming, not that like Napoleon himself was going to be like actively communicating with the player as like the voice in your head be like, no, it's cool. I know you died.
God.
I know you died.
Napoleon as like the voice in your ear.
It's really good. It's really like the aesthetic, the framing, the actual like first person soulsy stuff like seems really, really neat. I heard this secondhand, but from somebody who talked to one of the devs on site, said that during their early prototyping, they were having trouble because they're like, why didn't anyone just make a first-person Dark Souls? Like, it seems like just a natural extension of trying to do a riff on this. And, like, the scaling of bosses is so different in first-person and third-person. The first time they built a boss fight, the player character, like, their head was at the crotch of the boss. Because, like, oh, right, scaling is going to be different in first and third person. And so we're going to have to rethink how we're even putting the models into the world. But, yeah, I know you liked both Ghost Runner games, right?
I didn't play the second one as much.
You played the first one.
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed.
I don't know. It
seems
seems like a game made for me. I think the last time we chatted about this, I think I said I've tried Ghost Runner on 3 different platforms, feeling like no, this will be the time that
this will finally click.
It clicks for me. I think it's just something about the way they do movement. Is it just didn't quite click for me in a fast game. Now in a slower game like Valor Mortis, you know, I will say, if for some reason the developer was not there when I was playing the game, one of my favorite things to do in Ghost Runner is you're going to run fast, and when you hit the crouch button, you're going to slide.
You're going to slide.
I don't know why I can't slide.
Are you saying no slide?
I tried. I click
fuck?
the stick, I'm running, I hit the crouch button, nothing happens. Does it make sense for the slide to be in this game at the pace? No. Do I think they should add a little slide as a treat? Yes. Or there is a perk system.
As a treat.
There's a perk system where like you're equipping, you know, like little soul upgrades or like, ooh, your vitality will replenish over time. I'm hoping at some point one will be like, you can like do a little slide, like if you want. Like you've got to take up a slot in your inventory, but don't worry, you can do a little slide. So
nice.
So that game seems neat. They said they were going to release another public. I didn't play. There was, I think, a Steam Next Fest demo. I didn't play it. I don't know if this was the same as the thing that was public before, but the game's coming out this year, and they said there'll be another public demo sometime in the nearest future, but that game seemed neat.
You almost vamped enough for me to find this thing.
Okay.
So
I was just trying to buy you time.
There's a game called Reclaim that I thought was really neat. It's a little adventure game. Very cute art. But it's made by an indigenous development group that includes like a bunch of indigenous people on the dev team, but also working directly with a specific tribe, and I can't find their name. I can't find the game. I thought I could find
Reclaim?
it. Huh?
Reclaim? No, that's the game. Is that the heist game?
No.
Oh.
There's a
Relooted
what?
is the heist game.
Relooted. No, Reclaim.
Okay.
I have a picture of the QR code, but I can't.
Wait, can I use your picture of the QR code?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do this.
We can find the specific
we can do this.
information.
So show me the QR code.
It's very cute though. I like the art, and it has very much a just sort of classic adventure game, combine items to make things happen, sort of like through line, and it's all voiced in the language of these people, and it just seems like
it's
really
fun.
Yeah. I just couldn't find the like a way to like link it, and like it has like the subtitle, something about like. It shouts out the specific people.
Embark on an adventure where every word brings you closer to home. As Misqua, forge a path through a forest teeming with spirits, stories, and intricate puzzles inspired by... You are both better at pronouncing things than I am.
Give me that one. Did I hit a button? No. Oh. Oh no! Oh, sorry. By the Ojibwe.
Okay.
The Ojibwe culture. I was looking for the other one. Ashgawing.
In the title.
In the title, that's the subtitle. But it's Reclaim ! AZHE GIIWEWINING. If anyone just
wants to
find it on Steam. This one just came out. Like 3 days ago, like at the very beginning of the show.
I don't remember that game we played on Next Fest, but that other one that was like is a Metroidvania, but also trying to tell the specific
Oh
history
yeah.
of
Of the Brazilian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
It was
I
really
forgot
neat.
the name.
I don't know why this is triggering this, but it's unrelated. But I talked to the head of the studio that's Wood Runner Games. They're making Croak, the frog game.
Croak.
Remember
You can't just say the frog game. I have like.
I was getting there.
There's like so many frog games. No, I'm saying like. Even you saying that in that sentence is like which that doesn't Croak the frog game. Which one of the million
the platformer
frog
we
games?
played, it was like the really cartoonish art where you're using the tongue as the hook shot. You're gonna know it when you see it. We played.
It's
you
not-
watched me play it.
I watched you play it.
You watched me play
It's
it.
not. What's the other one? It's not Big Hop, and it's not.
No, it's not Hop Shot. It's called Croak.
It's not. What's the other one? Rubato.
I haven't played that. It's on my Steam Deck.
It's on your Steam Deck. Nice.
This one. Do you remember this frog?
Who is this man?
They haven't given him a name.
Oh, okay. Yes, vaguely. Yes.
Remember
okay,
you could do the
crown.
pinballing, like, or you could pinball, like you would.
Right,
You
you
would
would-
attach to the surface, and then you
And
could
then you
with
like
your tongue, and then you
flick
can pinball
forward
off.
and then bounce off of it and bounce around. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So a couple of things. One,
Croak.
I asked why frog,
Why frog?
and they said, well, was duck.
Was duck.
Was duck.
Why frog? But answer was duck.
Was duck, and it
What
was
the
it was a
fuck?
duck in the prototyping phase for a long time, until they kept adding on mechanics, and it no longer made sense to be duck. So they had to find another creature that could more properly express the game they wanted to make. So they transitioned to a frog because they wanted to add like a hook shot, like a grappling hook sort of thing. And then one of their artists took a swing at the design for the frog, and they made the belly
Yeah.
like so round,
It was very round.
and they look at it and went, what if pinball? Like that wasn't part of
That wasn't
the
part of the
mechanics
original
that
game.
came out just because the artist made frog round.
Frog round,
They're
so
like,
round
oh.
frog, but a frog round like ball, like pinball.
Exactly.
Bounce
I was
around.
like, wow, that's game design, baby.
Wow. And that AI can't do that shit.
Yeah, I can't do that shit. No. ChatGPT. What if frog?
What if frog was round? What if frown?
The other really
was
interesting about
pinball.
that studio, so they started making the game in 2020 because I looked up the studio ahead of time
Yeah.
to try and frame, are these a bunch of ex-Ubisoft developers, which would make sense for like being up in like Montreal.
Sure.
But in the CEO, like the head of the team's LinkedIn, it was all in French, but I could have sworn it said like Woodrunner Games, and then before that server, and I was like, well, maybe I'm misinterpreting that.
Sure.
Like, so I asked, and you'll hear this, in the podcast feed eventually. He was like, no. Like I worked at a casino, like as a server, and then COVID starts, and we all lost our jobs. He has no game design experience, but they the government like matched or like their wages or like gave them enough to get by because their jobs were forced to lose their jobs as a result of the early COVID lockdowns. And as a result of that, they were just home. His skill set was in being a server. There were no jobs to go be a server.
Right.
So he went to his friend, is like, we've always talked about making a video game. Like, what if
we
not
just,
now?
What if we just did that? Yeah.
So they started making the early version of what will become Croak, and then it gets far enough along that because the money they got from the government because of the COVID restrictions, they were then able to apply for money from the government for a grant to make a video game. And so they daisy chained like money from the Canadian government for the COVID stuff to money from the Canadian government to make a video game, and then that's why they were able to make Croak, which I thought
That's
was
amazing.
wild. And
That's
like,
great.
That's really cool. Like
That's
that's
beautiful.
Like the system working in like a really. This piece of art does not exist
Right.
without like the aid of that along the process. I was like, damn, I wish there were more stories like that.
Yeah.
That's
neat. Awesome.
You got to pursue a dream by circumstance, and then get to complete that dream because of like another extension of the government. It's like, damn, that's sick. And the game's
Sick.
very good.
Good for Canada.
Good for Canada.
Great
Not
for
us.
Canada. I also played Duo Crime. Did you play Duo Crime?
I almost did because the pitch of
Oh,
just do a crime.
Is my bag over there? No, they gave me a little Polaroid of my mugshot.
Of you doing a
not
crime?
that one, not that one. There's a giant duffel bag of equipment.
There were a couple games about doing crime.
How do I have
Yeah.
a cool duffel bag?
It's a Patagonia duffel bag.
Is it leather? It's the like a.
I think it's just a vinyl situation.
It
It's big.
It looks rugged.
It's very big, and you can wear it like a backpack. So that's how I
You
carry
wear that
around.
like a backpack?
Yeah, it's got little
It's
backpack straps.
huge.
I literally put it on in front of you like a backpack and walked it into the house the first time.
You know what? I
Yeah.
thought that was a different bag. I was like,
No.
oh, Kato brought a backpack.
That's that. My actual bag I think is hanging up by the door. But they take a little after you do the demo, they take a little mugshot with a little Polaroid, and then they put it in a little frame that says "Wanted." It's
So
very
what
funny.
kind of crimes did you get up to?
A bunch of crimes.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
the you play as a raccoon who finds a rap sheet for the local mayor of the town.
Okay.
And it's just like it lists a bunch of crimes that mayor has committed, and you misinterpret the list of things somehow as a to-do list.
That's okay. That's a good premise.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's a solid starting premise. And you're just a little raccoon jumping around, rummaging through shit, breaking shit. It has very Goose Game vibes.
Like very physics based.
Yeah, and like you like grab little blocks. There's little blocks that you grab that you have to like place places in order to be able to jump up high enough. You have a very limited jump. You don't have a ton of verticality. And you're just kind of running around doing these crimes, checking them off your lists, right? Which is kind of similar to the like Goose Game. Like you have this kind of list of like different
This
things.
art is very good.
It's very cute. It's very, very cute. I had a great time. And there's like different types of puzzles. There's a little bit where you have to like first you plant some flowers and then you
didn't. What's the name of the raccoon?
little buddy,
Little Bud.
little bud,
Little Bud.
little bud,
Little Bud.
little bud,
Little Bud.
I love little bud.
And you can change Little Bud's mask.
Yeah. You
Unlockable
can choose
masks.
different little patterns. One of them, which is just a little mustache, which is very funny.
Nice.
Explore human-infested areas around town is excellent phrasing.
It's so good. Yeah. One of the crimes I committed was disturbing the peace, which was finding an air horn and then blasting it at some crows that were nearby, and they got very angry at me and left. But I was able to collect the MacGuffin that I needed for that level or whatever. It's adorable. It seems really fun. They said maybe end of year, so keep an eye out.
Maybe end of year sounds like early
Probably early
2027.
2027. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like too. But it's very funny. There's also a frog in that kind of acts as your like tutorializer, your like a guide through the beginning of the game.
I did tell the first thing I said when I sat down with the Croak developer was like, "Have you played Hop Shot?" I know the answer is no. But I did. By the end, I was like,
But
"Let me know. Let me know if you play Hop Shot. Like you're making a frog. Like the frog community needs to be together, and I'm here to facilitate
Frogs.
those."
There was a frog game that I really wanted to try that I didn't get to, but I kind of watched over the shoulder of someone in the PAX Rising area. Did you notice it? It was called Jigrift.
Right. Was that a frog?
That's a frog. They're all frogs. Actually, everything in that game is frog.
The Frogassance has arrived.
It has arrived. It is a frog.
Long live the frog.
Frog. Year of the frog. That's what not goodbye to the horse.
Will there be Fox McCloud's in this new Mario movie? Like, will there be a frog?
Oh my god.
The Mario and the frog suit.
Slippy gonna be there.
He better. Who will voice Slippy? If Glenn Powell is voicing Fox McCloud, who voices Slippy?
I actually feel like there's a right answer to this.
Right?
Oh, this is going to bother me now. Quick thing. First, Alice Forever Cemetery showed up, did what Alice does, gave lots of subs.
Oh, thank you, Alice.
But also, that reminds me, lots of people comment on the fact we're wearing socks. And people are like, oh, I guess it's the shoes off. I thought we'd settled the debate pretty thoroughly.
We talked about this on the
shoes off is the right move.
Shoes off is what we do.
Like in the interior of a house.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Shoes off.
Like, if you're having a big, like, indoor-outdoor party.
It doesn't
right?
count as
Like,
feet
people can
either.
leave their
This
shoe-
is not feet. It's socks.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to be in here for a long time. If it was like, hey, could you pop in and grab something from the kitchen? Maybe I might forego the like removal of the shoe to go grab some utensil. But like, you're going to be in for a while.
Yeah.
Shoes off. Plus, you're in a very outdoorsy area. Like, I could pick up leaves and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very.
squirrels could follow me in.
Also, shoes off lets me do this. Yeah.
Lets you accidentally hit the soundboard.
No.
I also
That
wanna-
is the only way MK ever sits on anything.
Yeah.
That is the other reason it has to be a shoes off household is like like if it's a surface, MK is gonna curl up on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's comfy.
I lost the message because
Wait. Did you see Jigrift?
I did, but before
Okay,
I lose this thought, Radamero, constant in the community,
Yeah.
was at the PAX East meetup, and I think had to leave early because they were going to Germany for a job
shit.
interview. Like
Yeah.
they're not here anymore because they're in fucking Germany.
Oh my
'Cause They
god.
got the job, and so I just
Hell
wanted to
yeah.
shout that out.
Because of remap blessings.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So congratulations, Radamero.
Congrats.
But no, was it Jig?
I'll be honest though, makes me feel a little bit less bummed.
Who said
that, like,
crokinol? Who said crokinol?
I probably won't make the meetup because like Radamero is one of the people I'm like, I don't see Radamero.
Yeah.
So no Radamero.
No.
Now there's a bunch of other people I was looking for. I was hoping I would see again this year, but again, like head spinning a little bit, and also the thought of someone handing me a beer right now feel like an act of aggression.
Do you have like a?
Could
printer?
you even drive?
Could we?
I don't know.
That's the part that I'm most worried about. It's like, I don't think you
when
make
the
it.
answer is I don't know. I think you
I
have
think
an answer.
I think I'd be okay because it's like I'd be sitting in the chair, in the seat, and like just move my head a little bit between the mirrors. I think I'd be fine, but like I don't know if it'd be pleasant. I think it'd be fine.
All right.
I don't think.
Can
think
you?
Rob
Do you have a
should drive.
printer in your house?
I do.
Is it like? Can we like print out your face? Like bring it to the. Everyone can take like a cute
yeah.
picture of like Rob's face
Rob's
and
face.
like.
And then
I
we-
feel like
yeah,
a Rob effigy is a dangerous.
It's not an effigy. It's
yeah, it'll turn into one now.
Okay.
I see pictures of like, hey, why are people setting fire to me?
It's like, oh
in
look,
the
Rob's
Westin
here.
lobby?
Like, hey.
Hey, group photo with Rob, who's definitely here.
Okay, well, then the alternative is I'm fine. I'm gonna pull up a picture of your face on my phone, and I'm gonna have people put it in front of their face.
Well,
and
you have this
print
thing.
you.
Gotta be.
Oh yeah, this
You
is,
gotta-
oh, this
yeah,
iPad's as
you got
big
the
as a
iPad,
face.
yeah.
Oh, now
it's as
hang
big
on.
as
If
the
we want to do a
face.
telepresence thing, I can
Rob could be there.
Set you up, FaceTime you into
Put
the
you on
bar.
one of those
a
little.
telepresence, like the little telepresence robot
yeah,
with the
the little
iPad
robot
on it.
with
and
the
it's like
iPad.
I'm
Or
going
just like
around
one of the-
going around the remap meetup.
One of the tables I'll set up with my AirPods, and like you can have a 5-minute meeting with Rob. We'll rotate through. People can come and have a little chat.
Oh my god.
I forget. Did Campo Santo Games, makers of Firewatch, I feel like they had a telepresence robot. And I can't remember if they did it because they actually found it useful or if they were just doing it as a bit.
That sounds like a bit.
That
sounds
would have
like
been the era where those things were showing up. At
That sounds like a
some
Campo
places.
Santo bit.
Um,
Classic bit.
anything else?
I keep asking you, did you see Jigriff? Did you
Oh,
play
I saw
Jig-
it.
did
I
you-
saw
you didn't play
someone-
it? Okay.
But I didn't know. I didn't see what you do in the game. I saw the frog and the island and these sort of like, not quite PS1 era, but like it's going for a very specific
I would say it's
PS1 adjacent.
PS
It's
late
in the ballpark.
PS1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
Low polys,
Low poly.
vibes.
But I don't know what you do in the game. I didn't look at it long enough to see that part.
You like, there's these different islands, and
You kind of connect them like puzzle
the
pieces.
islands are like little puzzle pieces, and so like you're trying to undo the great separation, I think is what it's called, or some shit. And you have to connect the puzzle pieces as you find them, and then that causes things. It's very cute because like you'll see someone
Is it a
doing
cooperative
kind of like
game?
No,
Okay.
it's a single player game.
Okay.
But you'd see someone like an NPC doing a thing and it like not making a lot of sense until you connect the and you see what the scene that they're actually responding to is. That I thought that was pretty funny. But then eventually it's puzzle platforming. You know, you're jumping around. After you connect things, you get to certain things that let you find new islands and connect them and continue to build the world together, and it's just like very funnily written, and all the frogs are very cute. It's a world of frogs.
World of Frogs.
It's
I should
it's
start like a Steam
wonderful.
curator page where specific, just reviewing your game's got a
Just
frog.
frog
in it.
games.
But it has to be, the frog has to be centered. Like frogs are in many video games.
So hang on. So like,
How many-
like Mario 3, not a frog game.
Not a frog game. Features
No,
a frog, but
has a
is
frog.
not a frog game. Like Rubato, Hop Shot,
Yeah.
Croak, those are in the frog family.
But hop, short hop, big hop,
Big Hop.
big hop,
Big Hops?
I was
Big
like-
Hop?
big hop, big,
Big
hop?
Big Hop?
Is that what it's called? Excuse me.
The look my dogs gave Chia
Oh, when she
every
did it for the-
time.
Ah!
No, every time. I'm not saying the first time, because the thing is,
Tilly.
humans can acclimate. Like
Tilly,
It's like a jump scare to the dog every
Tilly
single
was
time.
offended whenever I would hiccup.
that is how.
She's like,
so
"Excuse
to,
you."
don't take that too personally.
No, it's very funny.
Mina, every time I cough, Mina's a COVID dog. Every time I cough, Mina looks at me. She thinks about it for a second. And then 70% of the time, she'll stand up and leave the room.
Don't want to contract those germs.
Like,
Amazing.
like
Spectacular.
she, like, we gave her, like, you remember, it's like 2020, right? Like
Yeah,
early
yeah.
2020, and like someone is nearby in a public space and they're coughing loudly or uncontrollably. You were like, I need to not be here.
Yeah.
Like, I need to
Time
get
to-
the
time
fuck
to
away.
leave.
Especially
so-
your version of a hiccup. My mom just gets constant tickles in her throat. And the first time she went grocery shopping, like COVID, had a mask and everything, but like got a tickle,
Yeah.
started coughing. And she was like, it was as though I had turned into a zombie. Like people
Right.
like moved away from
Right,
her. And
right,
she was
right.
like, no, I swear. And I understand the suspicion. Everyone was just, everyone was, especially in those early months, had no idea the scope of things. But she was like, I put my groceries down and I just left, and I'm gonna come back. Even though I didn't cough because I was sick, I just coughed because I cough a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Mina, like, for like COVID dog forever, she is going to be like, that sound is an imminent threat. I am leaving.
I need to not be here.
Okay, hold on. I don't want to lose this. So from Komanj in the chat, new section of the Remat review scorecard has frog game. So if we could just
Different.
get, if we could add that to the list,
Perfect.
I just want to say it into the
You're
world
gonna
so it's
put
not
it right
lost.
under Bone Mall.
Yes.
Great. How many games do you want to talk about?
I don't have
I have one, two,
there are two that can be really quick,
3.
and we can save some. We have to record another
4.
podcast this week, so we
I'll
can
probably
save-
go back and play. There's a second part of my list that is I saw this looks interesting, but the line was too long at the exact moment that I passed
I have
by
some
it, so I
others-
have to come back
I have
to
some
it.
others we could like.
Yeah.
I did an interview and talked to the I think his name is Brian Clark, who did Mortuary Assistant. He's doing the new Paranormal Activity game.
Oh, I saw that.
But
that booth.
we'll save that. Well,
Did you go into the booth?
no, I wish I'd
Okay.
gone into the booth. I played it on like a separate laptop that was less scary.
Okay, but the booth. See, you got to get in line for the booth.
I know. Well, then I couldn't do the whole demo if I did
Right.
the booth.
That's
so
fair. That's fair.
We'll talk about that later. But two games I wanted to shout out because they came from the folks in like the Remap Waypoint community. One, I don't know if you remember Sebastian. He's come to our meetups a bunch of times. And he's making a game called Barty's Adventure, which is like a time loop Majora's Mask inspired 2D game that is also sort of inspired by when he found out that his wife, they were expecting in 2020. He is a lawyer by trade, has absolutely no design, art, music, coding experience, and just started watching YouTube tutorials and
That's the way
figuring
to
it
fucking
out.
do it.
There's a
Yeah.
public demo that Sebastian put out last year. The folks can check out that is still on Steam. And so it was very funny because he reached out, because of the crossplay stuff. And he's like, I want to show you the game. And before he showed me the game, I was like, well, let's talk about it first. And I put, I gave him my microphones, and you'll hear the 15 minutes or so that we talked about at some point. And at the end, he goes like, oh, by the way, that's the first interview I've ever done. I didn't know we were doing that. He's like, did I fuck it up? I was like, no, I listened to way worse. Like you were fine, man. Like I think actually you being a lawyer, you were like ready to be like articulate. And so I was,
Nice.
I was overjoyed to be Sebastian's first interview
Hell
for that
yeah.
game. So that's Barty's Adventure. And then the other one, which if you're listening to this and you're going to be at PAX, you can go check this out. The Secret of Crystal Mountain is over in the PAX Uprising booth.
Yeah.
Has a little kind of fox-looking character, very reminiscent of Tunic, like if you remember that design. Again, another very Zelda-inspired, but this time 3D. It's you describe it as a cozy Zelda game, it's very pretty, plays really well. One of the cool things about it is like the different ways you can accomplish your goal. For example, you go through the world and it's an open space. To the left is a puzzle you can solve. To the right is a combat arena that you can work your way through. And a lot of the game is gated by these silver keys. And I went and did the combat sequence, finished it, got the silver key, and then I could just leave the area. And part of what he was saying was that, what's going on over there?
Just taking a picture of
What's he looking up?
Nothing.
What's he looking up? Chia, send me the photo.
I'm sending it to you.
Let me see it.
Damn it. No.
This is what you get for not coming to the You don't have any games to talk about from PAX because you didn't come to PAX. I just look over.
You're looking at speakers while we're
Shut
doing
the
this?
fuck up.
I look over because I thought I was gonna see, like, you had the stream up before with the chat.
Yeah, maybe he's looking at screenshots of Secret of Crystal Mountain. Get some context for the conversation. Jump on in.
Oh, that's so
Fucking
funny.
speakers.
Anyway,
Anyway.
those are your games.
Well, no. So I want to finish the point, which is that I only had to do one of the two, and part of what the developer, I'll look up his name because he's also from the remap community, was that it's like, well, how you're feeling today is that you want to do Chris. I'll pull up his full name. If you want to do a puzzle, you can do a puzzle. If you're not feeling like a puzzle, you just want to do a combat sequence. Like, great, and you can still progress either way.
Yeah.
And then he was like, there's also a third way. What if you don't want to do either? Well, then you can just go buy a key, and then you can just keep moving through the game.
Okay.
And the whole idea was like giving the player a lot of different options on like the mood they're having with the game, their level of, wanting to like, which part of your brain do you want to stretch today? And
Sure.
like sometimes that is wholly determined by the linear path of the game you're on. In this case, he wants to build in sections of the game where you can sort of, I think I'm vibing with a puzzle today. Like, let's go do another one of these
do a little
puzzles.
puzzle.
I was like, that's pretty smart. Like, that's
Nice.
that's a cool way of doing it. Why don't you do one more, and then we'll maybe bring this this podcast in for a landing.
Okay, well, I'm going to do three things. Two of
We
them
let Rob
super
on
fast.
the pod to
Yeah,
do
I know.
podcast. Well, he's going to buy some fucking speakers by the end of it.
I'm going
Look,
to do two.
it's really chat's fault. Somebody was like, I'll bet Rob's looking at speakers right now. And I was like, I could be looking at a speaker.
Okay, I'm gonna do two really quick shout outs
Yeah.
and then one like deep thing.
Okay.
One was someone's making their own.
Chris Rosenthal. Sorry, that's the Crystal Mountain developer. Just wanted to make sure I get the full shout out.
Someone's making their own like open source console, 8-bit, called the Game Tank.
Is that the one where like the tagline was like, play NES games, make NES games?
Was it?
I don't know.
I don't think
asking
so.
you. Okay, maybe
Wait,
something
it
different.
was on the right side, like next to the Nintendo booth.
No, I'm talking about
Different
something
place.
different.
And it was really neat. It was beautiful. It made this little game called Ganymede on the device. So the device itself is like all like 3D printable parts and then like PCB boards that you can like order and like you can develop for this thing with an emulator online. But then also like they make cartridges that you can flash your game onto. Like it doesn't have to be, the cartridge doesn't have to be built, but apparently there's like a small community building games that in this 8-bit system. And I really enjoyed like little bits of the game that he's like been working on for this system that he developed called Ganymede, which was a Metroidvania type of game. And he had the very beginning of it. And the first thing that you unlock is called the anti-jump. So instead of having like a double jump, like the spin jump that Samus has, you have a reverse your vertical momentum button. So if you like jump from here and you fall and then you hit the button, you will return up to the same point where you were before.
Okay.
So as fast, if you're going really fast
God,
down,
okay.
you hit the button and then you
Okay.
start going really fast up. And there was a bunch of very funny, interesting platforming bits. And just the whole project seemed really cool. And I was playing the game and somebody else, I was kind of half eavesdropping on an interview that was happening behind me. Or not an interview, actually. I think it was a different developer asking him a question about coding with AI. And he's like, I when I started coding, I did start using some AI, but like I found that like after a while, I had become so divorced from the process of coding that I feel like I was losing skills myself, like not just like the idea
Like
that
taking the shortcuts.
yeah. And he's like, I've completely stopped using it and I don't think I'll ever use it again. And I was like, that seems wild. So you hear the other way a lot, right? Especially in the bigger industry. But like,
I expect we'll see a lot more of that,
Right.
which is like the tools become normalized. People realize they don't really understand the guts of the machine that they're
anymore,
building.
yeah.
And especially as you want to go in and fine tune things, if you don't understand the underlying structure, then you're asking the system that built it to try and analyze itself to fix that. And like,
Yeah.
So it's a world where it's like, if you know what you're doing, I can imagine stuff like that being an accelerant for like what you already know you want to accomplish. But if you don't know what you want to accomplish,
Yeah.
you can't alter a system you fundamentally don't understand.
Yeah. So that was neat. So if you're like interested in like game dev stuff and like making your own little mini games and stuff, look up the game tank is what it's called.
Okay.
Next thing I want to shout out super quick is Mech Tech, which is
Oh, I saw people playing that.
it has the 4-player setup. 2v2 MOBA like deck builder. It's like you threw words at the wall that all like triggered
These are the
different
numbers. These are the things that Steam likes, and we've decided to then work backwards and build this.
It was super fun though. And it's got a really cute little like kind of SNES style, and also I think artistically pulling from the Advanced Wars games. Like a lot of the like little tanks and stuff in the game give that vibe. But basically, you have essentially a 2-lane MOBA where each team has 2 players. One player is inside of your side's mech, which is basically the like, you blow this up, you win the game. And that one has a little quote unquote deck of cards that are like these abilities that you play, like drop like a ton of little a little horde of MOBA bots that go like do their thing walking down the path, or like shoot a missile and like you can blow up their like little mobs and stuff. And then the other person is like running around on the field like as if you were a MOBA hero. And you can kind of swap back and forth. The only way to heal in the game is if you're too hurt, you have to get into the robot and your other person comes out. So you're kind of like, there's this really fun rhythm of just like, okay, I've been on the field. I've done as much as I can. I'm too hurt to like continue. Let's swap out. I'll control the other system. So you get this fun flow of like switching back and forth. It was really fun. And it was also, it's always really great to like be like, we're making sure that you could do this couch co-op, which is like, so many multiplayer games now are like, no, it's all based on net play, and like it doesn't matter that you can't control, but you could control 4 controllers into whatever device you're playing it on and just play it right there, which is really nice. Why is that Tilly?
We left the window open. It wouldn't make a difference.
Okay.
Her voice goes through things.
It's okay. So those were my 2 quick hits. Now, the thing that I am so excited for.
So is Tilly.
Tilly's
You have to remember
very,
how good they were for this entire show.
Yeah. It's probably fine. The thing that I'm like, I saw also at PAX Rising, I don't know if you noticed this, Canvas City.
Is
It's in the bottom
this
right.
the like Jet Set Radio-y turn-based?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
describing it wrong, but it was like
No, you're
turn-based
right.
Jet Set Radio.
It is, they described it as, what if XCOM meets Jet Set Radio? And they were right, and it fucking ruled.
Okay.
It was
Nice.
sick as fuck. It is a turn-based tactics game where you play as a crew who is tagging up
What is it
different
called again?
spaces. Canvas City.
Canvas City.
And basically, it is essentially, all tactics games are very focused on positioning and movement is like a big part of that. But this is also like a movement and positioning that is like its own mechanic, right? Because they have ramps and rails, the things that you, if you're inline skating, would grind on or like go down, and like you're meant to then chain traversing over these different things to get extra movement out of it, to get to different places and like do flanking maneuvers and things like that, to the point where I was fighting these enemies, and the way that you get more action points to do your attacks is by doing tricks. So first you want to do tricks as you move in order to have enough attacks to do your special attack once you arrive where you're going. Rules. It fucking rules. And there was one
like,
time...
I'm going to do a sick grind and then headshot this guy.
Basically. You're using spray cans as your attacks. And you also have like these little control points around the board that you want to keep tagging, these walls that you tag, because they give you your team like a base amount every turn of those same points.
So to get your AP, like
you want to hold these control, which means you're also continuously moving around the map in order to fight for them.
Okay, so that's how they give the idea. Like those games are all about momentum and flow.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that in a turn-based game?
Exactly, and they found the way to do it. It was really really neat, and there was some amazing moments where like I was standing next to an enemy, but in order to do my best attack, I had to
loop around,
like find a ramp, go up, stunt by doing a 360 spin over their head, land on the other side, come back around to where they stood. I just did a big circle, did a trick, and then fucked them up.
That's really good.
And then like the fact that the game forced me to do that, like if it was just like a normal tactics-based game where it's like, okay, now I hit attack because I'm already next to this enemy, like that's less sick than this is, and I fucking loved every moment of figuring out, because what it does is it makes you figure out lines. The way that like if you do a skateboarding game or like any sort of this stuff, you have to figure out what the path through and like which rail to hit, which ramp to hit at what time is like part of the like planning of a like little skate session, a skate line, right? They make you do that as part of all of the movement in this game, and it's so much fun to interact with. Like I was like itching to keep playing as soon as I finished that first battle. I was like, this fucking rules. I cannot wait for it. I'm very excited. Canvas City. Seems sick as fuck.
I look, no release date. It's listed as to be announced, which is that means far away.
Maybe early next year.
Maybe.
But definitely, I think they're gonna drop a demo soon. Is what I'm remembering. There'll be a demo if it's not already up.
There's no demo up, but they'll probably wait for the next
Yeah, I think they're doing I think it's maybe the
Skate Fest or what, I feel like Steam does one every 2 weeks is like
no, totally
some new bit. Well, we'll definitely have to check that. We'll stream that when.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it, the line was long. I never found like a good spot to just sneak in and try it.
No. At a certain point, I was like, I had passed it by so many times. I was like, I need to touch this before the pod because it looks so cool. I need to know.
I'm glad you did because it was on my. Believe me, I felt like that game was speaking to me.
It's so.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So join us in Boston for a chance to try Canvas City ahead of our publicly available demo being released later in 2026.
Okay, cool. So there will be one later.
Next Fest, one in the early part of the year, one or maybe it's once a quarter. My guess is they're going to time it to whatever the next. So
I know that there's a Next Fest in June because a different developer I asked, the developers for Cat Secretary, which also looked good, which I didn't get to play, but I will go back. I want to go back to and touch before leaving. Their demo is dropping on the June Next Fest, so I know that one exists at least.
Okay,
that's probably the next one, right? We just did one.
Yeah, we just did one.
Yeah.
Wow. We legitimately have to pack up and get on the road if we're going to make it back in time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, shit.
We're okay.
No, it was like 3 had to be the hard cutoff, though.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes at least to break this down.
We got to break this down, then we got to pack, and we want to be able to drop something off at the hotel, so we got to get moving. But
get schmoving.
That's going to do it if you're watching this live, and you missed part of it. There'll be the VOD, but also there'll be a podcast version going up on... Well, whenever you get a chance on Monday or Tuesday.
I need you to upload those files. I'm just gonna hit
seem
stop.
to like the cozy vibe.
Cool. There's enough room in here that it's getting increasingly hard for us to do the in-person stuff at the place we've done it before. I'm concerned that that's gonna get harder to pull off. But like we could do something here, the three of us.
Well, and you haven't even seen the studio.
Yeah, there's a spot that I. Yeah.
Okay, well we should talk.
There's a
And
part of the compound.
I feel like but you abandoned that because of the winter, right? That's
Yes,
what you were-
but there's some modifications that I want to make. Like, Cowd and I did a little walkthrough on Wednesday and discussed like how it would be laid out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, maybe next time you see us in person, it'll be there. But can you do off the dome? This podcast was produced by Do you have?
Oh yeah,
it in
this
you?
podcast was produced by Chia Contreras.
That's me.
Theme music is by Too Mellow. You can check out his work at twomellowmakes.net.
Bandcamp.com.
Damn it! Are you sure?
Two Mellow Makes. It's the Bandcamp. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
I think it's twomellow.net might be.
Yeah, I think it's
the
twomellow.net.
generic
It's the
website.
generic
Yeah.
website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just say them all.
Well, yeah. No, that's it. That's all I got off the dome.
Produced by Two Mellow. Remember,
Hail capitalism.
Right.
No.
Consume well. Hail
Um,
capitalism. Consume well, my friends. That isn't
That's
it,
where
is
the
it? That's
podcast is
wrong
going to
one.
end. That's no. Isn't there something about support? Thank you for your support. Let us do the streams.
oh, that's
and
the
then
long
also
version. We're not
the-
doing that. And then whenever I do the sign off, I say, please rate and review the podcast. Rob
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Remapradio.com.
/ sign
Orange
up.
button. Sign up.
That's
Yep.
in the intro, though.
That's also in the
Also
outro.
in the outro.
Oh,
Rob hits it twice.
damn.
Got that coverage.
But no coins.
No coins. No retirements.
No retirements. All right, we got to get out of here. Chia's going to stand up and go hit the off button. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Careful.
Hopefully, we'll see some of you at PAX East.
Do not die on the cables.
Chia will be there tomorrow. I'll be on a plane back home. Bye-bye.